Go ahead.
Mine was like teens and social networking. I kind of was wondering how they perceived like different risks or threats, or whether they did at all, or what they thought about privacy, or just what they thought in general. Because at the end, I kind of did my own survey of like people that were on my friends list. Like I would call them and be like, okay, just gonna ask you a few questions and give me a few quotes. And so I guess you can ask the next page. Identity and theft is the first issue that I was highlighting. Identity theft is all too easy to accomplish today, especially if the youth does not censor their information. A teen with their date of birth, email, name, location, hometown, along with a list of their friends to view, are all available on their websites. It makes things much easier for a thief to assume their identity and start making a new life for themselves and the victim. So that was like a big thing to start with, like, because, well, you can go to the next slide. I keep kind of jumping in.
That's okay.
One of the statistics I used, the FTC statistics for 2003 showed that approximately 10 million cases of identity theft that year. That was the largest percentage. 28% was among 18 to 29-year-olds of identity theft. And then I wrote, that's when a lot of people start using their credit, applying for student loans, and then they realize, or going to get your license when you're 16, that your license has already been used. Somebody already has ran you up credit. You go to apply for a job when you're 19 and you have $300,000 of debt in your I didn't even do anything yet. So I think putting your information out there when you're younger, people assume your identity, and then when you go to use it, the damage is already done, so then you have to recoup from that. So.
And this is well done. You got it there. So
okay,
yeah, you did that
fine. That was like one of the only pages.
That's all right. No, you're fine. You're just chill. You're good.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Okay. You can go to the next page. How can we protect ourselves? You can keep your personal information, like your date of birth and where you live, off from your social networks. Keep your wireless phone number private. Don't give your personal information over the phone or internet unless you're sure you're interacting with a reputable organization. Listing your schools, friends, and other ways that a thief may hack passwords and other information is risky. You know, like, oh, your mother's maiden name, that's on everything. And if you're going off to college, ask the school not to use your social security number, add your college ID number. Be careful who you give your ID. That was all. I think I got all that off.
No, fine.
So. Okay, the next issue that I was highlighting is privacy. Do teens express themselves the same way offline as they do online? The risk with this would be not having the same mind-to-mouth filter. Like, when I'm talking here with you, I'm not going to just, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to think before you go and say something. By mind-to-mouth, yeah, that's what I meant by that. If
you're doing fine.
I know you're
doing great. Just chill. You're fine. You're doing really well.
Okay. Well, without the face-to-face interactions, it's easier to say what you think and not worry about a repercussion. Okay, we go to the next. Online versus offline issues. The bad. Teens may be inclined to share feelings of anger, hurt, other personal expressions that affect their social aspects in their offline life. Oops, I didn't mean to say that out loud. Opening up online may leave teens vulnerable for bullying. And online bullying can be more alluring than other methods. Anonymity makes targeting others trouble-free because they're not going to have any consequences if you can't, you don't know who it is, and the good things are that teens can express themselves and find positive outlets for stress relief. Develop closer connections with offline friends by utilizing a digital life, like getting to know somebody because you can read their thoughts or feelings. And it's also easier to open up to people and express those thoughts and feelings, and you can get to know your family and friends better just by seeing what they're thinking sometimes. Okay. This is kind of the last issue that I highlighted because it's serious. As previously established, it's easier to open up to people online, especially if you don't know who they are. Teens using MySpace, Facebook, and chat rooms create a very dangerous environment for themselves if they do not comprehend the mind state of a predator, and most do not, and this situation is dangerous. You can go to the next one. Too much information. If you think your identity is danger from a thief, what do you think will happen to it in the hands of a predator? Educate youth on proper privacy settings. Educate youth on what information is appropriate on the web, kind of like the same with the identity theft thing, and what is dangerous in the hands of a stranger. Know what your kids are doing. Who are they talking to? What sites are they looking at? And can you see this person? Should you trust them? Words and pictures mean nothing online. Creating a password or some other method for teens to know who they are talking to is legit. For example, say someone is talking to you about a party and, hey, I saw you at that party, because you can clearly see on someone's Facebook whether they've been at a party or not. If you start talking about specifics of a party and they don't know what's happening, you know, they may not have been there at all. It just could be somebody trying to get into a 14-year-old's mind or life. The next one. This was my own survey that I did with six of like either family members or friends that I worked with in the past. One of them's my old piano student. So I think they range from 13 to 18 are the ages that I did. So I just asked them general questions like, does your digital privacy or lack thereof interfere with your non-digital privacy? Do the things you post online affect you offline? Kind of like the initial. These are quotes from them. Andrea states that she never thought about being two different lives. She doesn't think they affect her offline because she didn't think that they were two different things. Like we learned here, we are born digital and submersed into digital life, and she didn't really notice that they were different. Rachel says that she doesn't personally have differences, but she'll see like friends will be fighting over something that was posted the night before, and they'll still fight in real life. Underage parties, because that really happened to her. She posts the pictures of underage parties spreading fast. Parents and school boards can see these pictures, and then real life consequences happen because of something that they see online. These are statistics that I drew from these 6 students. Where do you draw the line on what information you reveal on your pages? Would you reveal your email? All 6 of them do. Your telephone number, 2 out of the 6 have revealed their phone numbers. Their date of birth and location, all of them have their date of birth listed, and 3 out of the 6 have their hometowns listed. And pictures of your friends and family. All those surveys has at least, you know, their family listed on their face, like your siblings and things like that. But what they don't know is even if your page is private, there's still pictures of your family and friends on the side. So they can go through and see who doesn't have their page on private. So and still get to know who your family and friends are. Send you a message saying, hey, I'm so-and-so's whatever, and then they're in your life now. So the next one is more survey or more quotes and things. Are you concerned with strangers or even friends of friends stumbling upon your information? Sean at 13 is not concerned with people viewing his information that he posts because it's just like second nature, like it's just there. Cody, my profiles aren't set on private. I don't see myself at risk. I never thought about someone stealing or wanting my information. Andrea says, I have profiles, so only my friends can view. I think that there are so many people out there that someone targeting me is unlikely. So that kind of makes sense, but then it also, like, there's so many people that you just could possibly be that one. Do you ever wish that no one read that post before you delete it? You can't take that back, kind of like words, but you think before you spoke. Sometimes, like Natalie, she's not like a cheerleader, so her page is her outlet. So at school, if people read her things, if she has her friends on her list, she could be teased in real life. No, I don't reveal information others would find accepted that would make me look, well, I don't post my feelings. Of course, it's a 16-year-old boy, so why would he? And then no, my profiles are me. I'm the same online and offline. And then this was the last part of the survey, was using social networks to express yourself. Do you bear more online than you would offline? Andrea says that she does. She'll write things on there. I see it all the time, and I always pick on her for it, real life and offline. I express more of my feelings on MySpace and Facebook. This is Natalie again. She doesn't have too many friends in school, and she doesn't have too many on her profile. She doesn't have to worry about being teased, I guess, because she doesn't friend him online. And then, no, I don't say anything online that I wouldn't say offline, because he's a 16-year-old boy again. So, and then that's pretty much, and then the last page is what I took from these kids doing the survey. Most of the teens did not feel that they were exposing too much information about themselves, or that they even could be victimized. Most were concerned about what their peers would think, about what they wrote, rather than strangers were looking at them. Most of those surveyed have been submersed in a digital culture since birth. It is second nature to them. However, it's second nature for us not born digital to lock the house when we leave. On the internet, there is no lock to your privacy as if on a house. Information is free-flowing about you, your friends, and your family. Parents need to make sure that their children lock the door when using social networks. no date of births, hometowns, listed emails or screen names, and apply appropriate privacy settings. It's also important to know that who you're talking to is indeed who they claim to be. And that was just kind of what I took away. That last thing was like my own personal thing. So, and that's pretty much it. That is it, actually.
Great.
I'm wrong.
Questions?
I really liked her survey.
No, I did
really
too.
liked it.
I
really
thought
did too.
taking a team
Like, yeah, when you're doing it, I'm like
perspective,
thinking of my friend, my sister.
you can see what they're posting in your head going, come on.
And the thing about the oops, like the other day, my sister put in a status because I was like mad this one day. And I was telling her, I was like, oh my god, this lady cut me off. I was just like, I'm so angry. I wish I could just key her car or something like that. And she's like, well, have you ever keyed a car? I was like, no, I can do it in my head though. Because I've never like I was like so mad at this lady.
But you
like,
said, yeah.
And I was like, and then I wanted to go in and tell her that she was wrong, and then when she hopped out of the car, there was kids, and I didn't want to make a scene in front of kids, and then in my head, I'm like, oh, why is she setting this example for kids? I'm just like, alright. I just walked in, walked out of the store, went away, but I was like telling her, I was like, I just don't feel like she could have said something or whatever. So she put on her status, Alyssa keyed her first car, but it was like a joke.
Yeah.
Everyone was
my
like,
God.
you keyed somebody's car? And I'm like, no, not really. And then she put underneath the like, back it up, like a comment underneath the status, like, not really. Or
Right.
something. But not everybody sees those comments. When you're going through people's statuses, it doesn't. You just see 11 comments or the number of comments. We're like, oh, it's a cute comment.
And it's hard to take like the connotation
Probably
of somebody
not.
speaking
Because once it's out there, it's out there.
My sister hasn't talked to me in 3 weeks, I'm not even kidding you, because she posted a joke on my husband's page. He was having a birthday, his car broke down, and he retorted back.
Yeah,
She hasn't talked to me in 3 weeks on Facebook. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, right?
No, it's true. Like when you write stuff, it's way different than when you're saying something. I got mad at my sister because she said whenever she's in person and she's really mad at you, she'll say like, okay, in this annoying tone. It just gets me. And she wrote it in a text saying.
And you know.
No, I was just like, I knew that you're mad because you said okay. And she's like, no, I can say it like this. Okay. And she said it to me, and I'm like, you never say that when you're happy. But it's like so hard. I don't know.
Well,
And I did the same thing. I just got mad. She was telling me to go. We have like a system like when we don't want to be out or something that will say, can you please help me, like get me out of this situation, so I have to go home now. I'm like, hey, I need help right now. My car's dead or something like that. So she'll get an excuse to tell her friend without being rude. I have to leave. My sister needs help. This time she's like, come get me or whatever. And I thought she was like drunk, and she's like, I'm okay. I'm telling you to come get me. I was just like, why are you mad at me? Because I didn't come get you. We never agreed on this, and we never fight. We were arguing and just texting. That's how you communicate now. If I heard her on her voice, I probably would have came and got her. Because I just thought she was being like ungrateful and rude. So because I'm hearing okay, and I hear him like, I can just picture her saying it.
So you don't,
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know. When I was like doing my report, I was like, when I was doing the other one after like reading Hamlet's Blackberry, I'm like, I always tell people how I miss airmail. Like I'll order something for $1 off of eBay because that's my house. That's not a bill.
so you get something that's not a
Yeah. And I like sending it too. That's the other thing.